When you buy the pumps for these things, 3 to 1 turns to 1 to 1. One pump, one pump. Too many times people paint their boat with some paint that was bad or whatever, and then they have to scrape it all off. Yeah, if it's too hot, you can't paint either. Like you want to, you know, like he was just saying, like once it gets like above 90 or something like that, you're gonna have to wait till nighttime. And then if it's like above 90 at night, you know, then bugs are gonna fly in it because of the lights. Like.
We're here at the boatyard. The boys have been sanding away. They're almost finished sanding. They've just started mixing up. What is that? Is that the primer? The boys are mixing up the barrier coat right now. Some kind of wizardry going on over here. I talked to the person who owned this boat before us, and she said that it was hauled out 1 year before she bought it in 2020. So it was 2019 since she's been hauled out. They have been working all day, sanding and grinding, and they're gonna keep it up until dark and then finish up tomorrow with that and get started on everything else. So wish us luck. Too many times people paint their boat with some paint that was bad or whatever, and then they have to scrape it all off, or they didn't mix it right or something. So doing like a little test on this. It was like 2 minutes. It was like 4 minutes of mixing, 5 minutes on just bare wood. All right.
We're just gonna see if the paint does its thing.
How's it going for you? Have we worked you to death?
Oh, no. We've been going in stages. We only have the one sander, so waiting for batteries to charge.
They've just been taking turns with the sander. Whenever one battery goes dead, the other one takes over. So they get a nice little break in between to do something else. But once all the batteries are dead, they have to take a full stop until they charge up. So that's what they're doing right now.
We're going to be doing fair and filler with micro light 40. We're going to go 410 for the little bitty divots where we had it was like gel coat osmosis, like 10 spots on one side. Look, zoom in on that. See, there was a crack in the gel coat. I guess water got behind that, and you can see another one right here. And we got all the bad gel coat. So we got that. And then on the other side here, we have like a giant hole where it looks like a chain or something has like messed up the keel, ripped a whole bunch of stuff off of it. They fixed it, but their repair looked horrible. So I ripped off their repair and I'm refixing it with this stuff. 404 high density filler. And then we're gonna put this on top of that and then sand it and paint it and all that other good stuff. But right now we got Chris over here cleaning all the little bitty holes where we seen a crack in the gel coat and we sanded down into it to the fiberglass. He's cleaning all that with acetone. I'm gonna mix this stuff up and we're gonna go and resin every one of them little holes and bring it back up fair. Did I get any of that mine? I'll put this in there. And that's supposed to be totally acceptable. You guys let me know in the comment section. Slow and fast. Now I got some like, we slowed down the, whatever. Alright. So, now we need this, and this starting stick.
Something exciting also, this boat has been named Inamorata ever since we bought her. And we're changing her name to Horus because we've been sailing Horus this whole time. So sailing vessel Horus is what she's going to be renamed. So we're going to have to do a renaming ceremony and maybe some rituals or something. It's going to be fun. We're definitely going to be celebrating. So that's going to be a fun little transition that you guys get to come along on. Super exciting for us. We've been waiting for this for a long time. So it's a great day.
We found this messed up spot on our keel down here. Somebody patched it and didn't clean it or whatever. Anyway, water got in there. I tore it all out. We packed it with some Ferrin stuff, epoxy filler, and let that dry, sand it, and then put glass over it and sand it again and paint it. That's where we're at with that. And then this is next. This is gonna be one of the things. We're gonna take that, put filler in there, and we're gonna replace the cutlass bearing inside of here. We got a new prop to put on there. It's a little bit more aggressive and a little bit more surface area, and that's where we're at.
Is there any advice that you'd give to a first timer at the Boatyard like we were this time?
Read all the bottles.
Yeah, read all the bottles. Read everything. Yeah, do a lot more research before you like try to plan it out in your mind what you're gonna do and what could go wrong, and then what you're gonna do from that point. Like try to have redundancies.
Before you do anything, take it on a practice piece first and test it on a practice piece and see how it sets.
Yeah, well, we did do that with the bottom paint just because of how expensive it is. We put in the front, we painted a couple little test spots to make sure it wasn't going to peel up or make it do weird stuff, and it seems fine and beautiful and dandy. So I'm going to sand this thing off, paint it, and then I'm going to scuff that up down there, tape off the inside with some stuff, and then I'm going to paint it with zinc.
Any advice you'd give to the viewers, first timers at the Boatyard?
Second, what he said, read all the bottles, read everything that you use in applications, read all the instructions before using, and when mixing it up, mix small amounts, test it on something before applying it to everything, and you don't have to clean up as much, and you'll get it right the first time.
That's no fun. Yeah, you definitely need to check the weather forecast before you start painting and planning. I would even check it before you get pulled out of the water, even though we didn't. Oh yeah, it was cold, so I had to use the fast hardener instead of the slow hardener because the slow hardener just wasn't cutting it.
It's March. Would you say this was a really good month to do this?
So far. I'm betting on that. Yeah, it was too hot, you can't paint either. Like you want to, like he was just saying, like once it gets like above 90 or something like that, you're gonna have to wait till nighttime, and then if it's like above 90 at night, then bugs are gonna fly in it because of the lights. Like, so here we got one blade so far. Boom, boom. Oh, pretty. We're gonna use this Marpro zinc chromate zinc chromate Marpro stuff. And we're gonna spray this on the prop and anything that's bronze underneath the boat. This is the last bit of underside paint. So we got this thing. I've been doing all kinds of research, and AI sucks. Like, I mean, it's kind of cool, but it just makes stuff up, whatever sounds good. But we ended up getting a 13-13 prop, 13 inches in diameter with a 13-inch pitch. And we had a 15-inch in diameter prop with a 9-inch pitch, which is more suitable for like a barge, not really an electric boat. But this has a lot more pitch, and it was saying it might be a little rough on the engine running wide open, but I think like, just cruising, it'll be fine. But we got to paint this guy and put it on there. And I got this from Sailors Exchange for $165. Cool deal. Nibril. And there's what that says. Pulled this guy out, sanded it down. I'm gonna like polish it, put a polished sand on it, but it kind of had just a little bit of wear right there. You can see where the packing gland was too tight and it wore grooves into it. But I'm gonna change the distance of the packing gland so that it's not so like right on them grooves. I'm gonna move it around so we'll be in a fresh spot. And I'm gonna use the PTFE opposed to this stuff. So this is what I put in there. This is the graphite infused packing, but it causes problems with galvanic corrosion. And this is what was in there. I thought I pulled it all out, but apparently there was a whole bunch of this stuff in there, and it's way past it's probably what actually ruined the shaft right there, was this. And that's like the flax seal stuff. That's like the worst stuff that you can get. Cheapest, most common, I guess, but the PTFE is better for your fuel economy and stuff like that, because inboard engines actually lose anywhere from, I think it was 15 to 35% of their fuel economy right here where this wraps around the shaft. And if people tighten that down too tight, it squeezes the shaft, and it's just unnecessary friction, and it's making you guzzle gas that you don't need to. But if you use the PTFE, it works better. It lasts practically forever as long as you treat it right. Well, I mean, and mileage, if you're not driving everywhere. Maybe it doesn't last practically forever, but it lasts for like way longer than all the other stuff. It doesn't break down, so if it sits there for 10 years, it'll still be ready to go. Opposed to this stuff, it gets eaten by Mother Nature. That's what we put the West Systems 410 stuff on, and we've been working on getting everything kind of smoothed out as close as we can get it without going too crazy and ripping too much paint off. And I've fixed up around where the shaft came out with that 404 high density filler so that it'll bond to everything. And I put the Cutlass bearing in, which is like a crazy act of madness, Congress, or whatever you want to say. But we got it in there and straight and flush, didn't bend or anything, didn't break the rubber. And we pretty much, this side of the boat was the worst side. And we got a bunch of sanding to do, and tomorrow, about this time, we should be able to start painting. There is a bolt down here that the keel cable runs through this crazy box thing and over there and back to this and whatever. It is crazy, and somebody deleted all that stuff and put a pin through it, but the pin was all corroded and about to break, so I put a new stainless steel bolt in there, but I'm having troubles finding the nut for it. And we've been wiping the top down with acetone again just to make sure we get all the wax out of it. And then we're gonna lightly sand it and start gel coating the old roll and tip with Pettit Super B Atlantic. Yeah, let's talk about the West System hardener and resin. Alright, even though the bottles say it's a 3-to-1 ratio, this stuff right here, it says part 1, part 2, 3-to-1. Alright, when you buy the pumps for these things, 3-to-1 turns to 1-to-1. 1 pump, 1 pump. Not 3 pumps, 1 pump. I did that, and it kind of got a little hard, but it never got hard.
Never hardened.
Yeah.
Still not hard.
And apparently we want to lay this out in the sun and try to get it hard so that it's not so bad for the environment, from what I read. Yeah, I went ahead and redid that the right way, remixed up the filler and the sandable stuff, and put that back on there.
Common mistake.
This is the first bit of paint getting put on her. Look at Kooky up there. Hey, boy.
Remember, just do a small section at a time.
Oh, yeah.
Like a 2 foot by 4 foot section, and then you got to wipe the bubbles down and then move on. You only got a short window to put it on and knock the bubbles out.
We're hoping that it doesn't rain. It's not been the best weather forecast for today.
If it gets too hot and it dries up and sets up too quick, I can't do as big of an area. Yeah, if it gets too hot and I don't have an area done and the bubbles dry, you'll see them.
Oh.
And you don't want to see any of the bubbles.
I don't think anybody knows, to be real honest with you. And once I went to a jeweler, he's like, no, it's pyrite.
Yeah.
The guy who sold me this tooth lied to me.
What did you tell you, it's gold?
No.
Oh.
He told me this tooth was 50,000 years old.
Oh, right.
Yeah. He's nowhere close.
Nowhere close, huh?
In between 3 and 13 million years old.
Oh, wow. So
God.
in your favor.
Yeah, that's no, this is his tooth. I didn't know anything about it.
You want to mix it, but you don't want to get no air in it, really. So we're going out and we're anchoring now, our brand new paint job testing out the prop. It's awesome. It goes fast. 14 days was the goal, and we got out in 12. Today's day 13, and we're off the dock. Almost got everything organized. We got a couple little things to tidy up, finish hooking up the sink and stuff, but we're all good. Yeah. But in case anybody wants to know, show them right over there. You see the end of that pier? That's not where that pier ends. It actually goes quite a bit further out there, and there's posts, and the rest of the pier collapsed and fell down. And I cut across through there 3 times with big boats and had no idea. And then I came through there with the dinghy, and I hit one of those posts with my thing and was like, holy cow, and that freaked me out, because like, dude, I done came through here 3 times. I got really lucky all 3 times. But just so you know, you ever come to this marina, see them piers, come right down the middle of them. Do not try to cut across the ends, and kind of use the rest of the piers for a judgment of the end of them, and then go a little further, for sure. Circle.
That was fun.
Yeah. Did we make 2 circles, or was that just one?
That was 2.
That's it. It was wide open.